Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. Well, today is a very exciting day. For around 5 years now, the Secureteam channel has had the pleasure of bringing you the alternative news of the day and attempted, at least, to answer some of the most pressing questions facing us as a community. The alien cover-up truly is the most fascinating and addictive subject matter you'll likely ever come across. And today, in continuance of that search for truth, it is with great honor that for the first time in the history of the channel, we hold an interview with a pioneer of the ufology movement whose work has spanned decades. Today, we welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Stephen Greer.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to be with you.
Well, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and I want to congratulate you on the release and success of your film Unacknowledged and the endless work that you've been putting in over the years.
You're welcome. It's a labor of love, I assure you.
It certainly is. Now, we don't have a whole lot of time today, so I want to make every minute count. We have a lot of questions that have been submitted by viewers. I have some of my own, and of course, we want to talk about the new film. So I think the best way to start, and for those who may be new to the topic and your work, could you briefly tell the viewers a little bit about your background, what it was that originally drew you to this research and led to your founding of SETI and the Disclosure Project?
Well, I'm an emergency doctor, ER trauma. Before that, I was a meditation teacher, went all over the world teaching people Vedic Sanskrit meditation. And when I was a child, I had a sighting of one of these UFOs. It was about 1963, before any of you guys were alive. And it was a very clear day, crystal clear in North Carolina and Charlotte, where I grew up. And it ignited, it was so close and so clear. It's a seamless, disc-shaped object, beautiful. And the boys and I who saw it, my twin sister remembers this as well, were struck that this was definitely nothing we had. And so it ignited an interest in this from childhood, actually. So in 1990, I started a project to make open contact with these civilizations as a diplomatic mission called the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It's now all under the umbrella of SiriusDisclosure.com, which I think is right here, you can see, and SIRIUS Disclosure.com. And SiriusDisclosure.com has within it the Disclosure Project and SETI, and also the Orion Project, which is what we're looking into, the new energy systems. But what really got me fully involved is in 1990, after starting this project, we were out on a beach and actually had a contact event happen where we were able to vector in using the protocols that we have for ET craft on a beach in Florida. This made its way onto the front page of the Pensacola paper. And then within a month, the intelligence community, let's just call them the IC for short, various members from various three-letter agencies contacted me and said, first of all, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse my language, but that's literally what they said. And you know, who do you think you are? And I said, well, I'm just a doctor who is interested in contact with these civilizations, and we're going to do this, and there's nothing you can do about it. So the head of Army Intelligence got very angry at me. And this is when I began to realize that I'd hit a real nerve. So about a little over a year later, I was up in Washington being asked to brief the head of the CIA. And between 1992 and 1997, I realized that the president and the CIA director were being deliberately fooled on a lot of issues. And the biggest one is the UFO issue. They weren't getting the answers they were looking for. They were being lied to. There was a complete breakdown in our constitutional government. And I concluded that I was going to have to do something to fix this. So I started something called Project Starlight. Project Starlight was the early predecessor to the now known Global Disclosure Project movement. And this was when we were putting together briefings for the president, CIA director, members of Congress, et cetera, and so on. And so between 93 and 97, we held numerous, countless briefings in the U.S. and around the world, the UN Secretary General as well, Boutros Boutros-Ghali. And there was widespread support for ending the secrecy. However, the leaders didn't have you, and you'll see in the movie Unacknowledged, which has just come out this week, the leaders didn't have the courage to do it. And one of Bill Clinton's good friends came to my home and said, we're concerned he will end up like Jack Kennedy. And I thought he was joking. And he said, no, we're not joking. And, but we think you can do it. And I said, oh, well, you think I can do it because I'm not important and I'm expendable. If they kill me, it doesn't matter. And he looked me straight in the eye and he says, yes, you're expendable. So my joke in the inner circle of my followers is that I'm the throwaway guy. I'm the guy, it doesn't matter if you give up your career, your life. So, you know, these cowards in Washington and the politicians and the lawyers and the fat cats and the global elites, who are all fascists, by the way, they don't want to rock the boat, because what I discovered was that a big part of the plan, there are two big agendas here. One is the false disclosure that's going on right now. And that's where people are putting out nonsensical information to scare people, to prepare the populace for interplanetary war. That's about 99%. That's 99% of ufology, I guarantee. 100%. I know it for a fact. So number two is they don't want people to know about these technologies because, hey, you know, if it's known how these UFOs are moving around, and they know, and people find out about zero-point energy and anti-gravity, they're not going to be happy spending thousands of dollars a year per household on heating oil and on gas and coal and destroying the biosphere. So they are trying to maintain the status quo of the global power elite. And that's really what it's about. And that is all based on the energy system we use and the infrastructure we have, which is from the 1800s, by the way. So when I discovered that, I didn't really understand until I began in the, I guess about 20 to 25 years ago, I began to connect these dots of why is this subject this secret? Why would they kill a president or Marilyn Monroe or threaten to kill me and have killed people on my team to keep this secret? Well, the reason is because they're protecting, you know, several $100 trillion in public utilities and oil and gas and coal and nuclear power and all these things that are destroying the planet. And these people want to maintain their position on the top of that pyramid, where they're in control of the global economy and the systems that go with it. So it then made sense why it was secret. And actually, this was the first question the CIA director had for me. Why are they lying to me, the CIA director, and why are they lying to the president? And I said, well, sir, the reason they don't want you to know is that this president is disposed favorably to end the secrecy. But if he ends the secrecy, it throws a monkey wrench in their plans to squeeze as much out of the global economy as they can with the fossil fuel industries and the petrodollar system. And moreover, they have another plan, and that is they want to keep it secret until they can play the ultimate trump card, no pun intended, of a false alien invasion. And they've been getting their ducks in a row and building man-made UFOs for decades and staging things like abductions. By the way, I personally know many guys who've been on the squads who go around doing abductions. And of course, the ufologists, who for the most part, unfortunately, don't have any good sources in the intelligence community, think that these are being done by, quote, aliens. I go, yeah, they're aliens, but they're man-made aliens. And interestingly, we finally got one of these intelligence officers to go on the record in the film and in the book, Unacknowledged. And by the way, if you're interested in the subject, the book, which is this thing, this has about 10 times more information than the movie, which is now number one on iTunes. So I concluded that we had to do something to get the word out. And when I realized that the cowards in Washington wouldn't do it, I said, well, we have to do it. So we did the Disclosure Project National Press Club event in 2001, and have been working, ardently ever since to build a community of people around the world of kind of grassroots. And this is why your group is so important to this process, is that it's the people who are going to have to rise up and demand disclosure, and not only demand it, but do it. We got to do it. We got to be the folks who actually do it.